Howdy and good morning, everybody. Um, I'm sorry I don't have my story time hat on. Just don't feel like looking for it, to be quite honest with you. Um, Not feeling very well, but I did want to share this story because I just saw something recently that reminded me of this story. Let me hit pause for a second. So, anyway, I've got the crud starting in the last hour or so, starting to lose part of my voice, but that's never pleasant, especially when you talk as much as I do. And kind of funny. I have to, not have to, it's what I do. It's my thing at work. I have an employee meeting at 2 p.m. Central Time, and they're probably going to like the fact that I might not be able to talk. Anyway, got the sniffles, I got everything going on. Comes and goes in waves, but right now I feel pretty miserable. But did want to tell you this story. Try not to mention any names, but years ago, I worked at a famous bait shop, and I was participating in a charity fishing tournament. I'm going to be very select in my words. I'm not going to go into much detail, but I donated some items. There was a lot of people. Actually, I want to correct myself. Pretty sure I did not donate any items. I didn't donate time for setup and everything. For the canopies and this, that, and the other thing. It was so unorganized. It was actually, I take that back. I got that confused with a different tournament. So I did, I did show up. I'm so sorry. It was they were both at the same location. So let me back up and clarify this because I don't want to spew any misinformation. So anyway, it was a charity. It was to help a young child at the time was juvenile who was born severely disadvantaged with her health, and the family was uh, doing an annual fishing tournament to, you know, cover some necessary financial expenses to carry them through the year, um, to help keep her sustained as well as possible. So I feel bad for mixing that up because they were both at the same location. I'm visualizing the same location in the event, but I just realized, when I started talking there, I merged the wrong event. But anyway, so I did show up a couple years in a row with money. That's when I had money, and they had all kinds of like raffle tickets and things for auction and stuff like that. So the event I'm talking about this particular time, there was a young child, high school freshman from Estero High School named Dylan Simmons, and he had been dying of brain cancer, and I had become very close with the family, helping them trying to raise money while Dylan was still alive to beat his medical condition, and he did pass, and he had passed. I forget what period of time before that fishing tournament, and he was a big, big, big um, hockey player, ice hockey player. That was really big in Southwest Florida, believe it or not. It's like huge down here, and people come from all over the country to have big tournaments in Fort Myers area. When I was living in Fort Myers area, excuse me. So one of the the items they had for auction was an autographed hockey stick from one of the players of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it was like some Russian name, I think. I know it was not like Johnson or some common name like that. So anyway, they had silent auction, so you would sign up for it, and they would list the opening bid. So when I saw that, I knew I was going to buy that hockey stick to give it to the family, because they left Dylan's room totally intact with all his sports memorabilia. And I thought, you know what, this would be a cool gesture to do that. And so they had a bunch of stuff. That was the only item I was interested in for that specific reason, to help Dylan's family, hopefully make them feel a little bit better. So I sign up on the clipboard for that hockey stick. Opening bid was, or the minimum bid, well, it started at $25. So I bid $26, and I stand at the end of the table. That was the last clipboard. I stand there the entire time, because I'm not going to get beat on this hockey stick. And it was it's not even funny. It was sad. It was criminal. And this is a legit charity, right? So after all the bidding stops on everything, and they're going to start announcing the winners and this, that, and the other thing, one of the MCs, turned out it was the guy that donated this. He had a contact with the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey team, got that donated. I'm assuming they expected a higher bid. I guess he was trying to get it back. So I'm probably 12 yards away from them. So it's the father of the young lady, this guest MC, and they get up in front of this big crowd and start to announce the winner. And guess what they did? They announced the winner. They announced the winner of the guy who donated it, who never signed up on the clipboard. And I saw that, and I almost flipped out. While he's still talking live on the mic, I whispered in his ear and I said, "Hey, dude, I'm going to out you right now. You better correct this right now, because there's nobody else signed up on that clipboard. That hockey stick is mine. I can turn this into a real fiasco if you want." And then all of a sudden he corrects and then says that I won the hockey stick at a $26 bid. And I got that stick, and I got in my vehicle and left. I was so pissed. They're trying to do a good thing for charity, but I mean, I legit won that hockey stick, and I did give it to the family. But after that, I've never helped that organization one more time. I even mentioned to the father and another charter captain. They tried to make it sound like I did something awful because I was ticked off. The father had the opportunity to talk to me about it, and I told him, "Hey, what you did was totally wrong. I think I have an idea why you did it, but it was totally wrong. I'm there supporting. I have supported in the past, and you did that." I told him straight up. I said, I'll never support. I know it's overall a good cause, but I can never trust you again." And so that's the story. That's the real story. I would love to say the name, but it's so far in the past. But I will say that charity tournament's still going on. A lot of people do help. I'm pretty sure they were embarrassed, busted, but I was happy I gave that hockey stick to the family. And believe it or not, that young man who passed away from brain cancer. I'm still, I was, and I'm not sure lately. I really don't follow Facebook that much anymore, but I would, when his birthday would appear every year, I would see that and people write on his page and stuff like that. So anyway, that's crazy. It's crazy. Doing the right thing and almost getting the wrong result, you know. Play by the rules and somebody tries to reinvent new rules. So that's it. That's another story time. I forget what we're on. We'll figure it out before I post this. It might be, episode 134, 135, somewhere in that ballpark. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay healthy. Try and avoid the crud. One thing I like to do when I start getting a cold and all that, it doesn't help long term, but it sure does feel real good short term. Nothing better than wonton soup. I can eat or consume or whatever you want to call it, quarts of wonton soup a day when I'm sick. It really feels good. Anyway, that's it. Story time's wrapped up. Just sharing the story. Y'all have to take care and stay out of trouble.